It's time for another spiritual download. Good morning to some of you that are listening to this in the morning, and to those of you who are listening to this in the evening, good evening to you. Okay, we're going to talk about patience and endurance. I have learned after many, many years that patience and endurance gets you to paper. It does. You develop a thick skin, you learn how to stick to things. After years of running away from myself, I finally decided to sit down somewhere, and things are coming together better than I anticipated. So it's one of those situations where if I knew 20 years ago what I know today, yeah. So there's a little bit of a regret, but I'm not feeling bad. Don't get it twisted. There's nothing wrong with saying, I shoulda, woulda, coulda to certain things, but just don't wallow in it. Don't wallow in the regret. Because then you're going to be in a negative headspace. You're going to be emitting negative energy, and then right before you know it, you're going to wind up in the same mess that you were trying to run away from, the mess that you were trying to put away. But yeah, I know we're in unpredictable times right now. I fully understand that, and a lot of people are going to have to reprogram the way things are being done. They're going to have to switch up some things in their lives in order to keep this life thing going. I get that. And some people, unfortunately, aren't adjusting very well. They're not adjusting very well at all. Some people feel that they're totally alone. And because they don't feel like that they're getting any support for whatever reason, or they don't feel like they're being heard, they wind up doing risky things, acting in ways that's just not befitting to them, and the consequences are dire. It could cost relationships, it could cost families, it could cost a job, it could cost education. So I say this to say this. Anything worth having in this world is going to require a certain amount of patience and endurance, whether it's a relationship, a job, or a degree, or anything. If you're not willing to provide the patience and endurance in that particular situation, you are not going to reap the ultimate benefit. You're just not. And that's a lesson that I had to learn in many scenarios over time. So for those of you that are going through something, but you've kind of been doing things half-heartedly, you've been kind of half-assed in your effort, and you're wondering why you're not getting the results that you're getting, that's the reason why. You're going to have to push a little bit harder to the point where you feel a little bit of pain. You're going to have to feel a little uncomfortable for a while. But understand, it's just for a little while. It's just temporary. You got to learn how to see the forest in spite of the trees. You got to learn how to see the prize at the end of the race. All you got to do is get there. Nobody does a 50-yard dash in 20 yards. It doesn't work that way. You got to do the whole 50 yards. Nobody runs a 26-mile marathon and say they completed it if they've only done 6 miles. You got to do all 26 miles. So understand what you're getting involved in. And understand that it's going to take patience and endurance for you to get the ultimate prize. Yes, it's not going to be a situation where you're going to be happy all the time. There are going to be some times where you're kind of going to be beside yourself. There are going to be some times where you're tired, downright exhausted. But in the back of your mind, you got to keep pushing. And sometimes there could be a situation where you're the only one pushing. So just understand, patience and endurance gets you the paper. And when I refer to the paper, not just money. It could be a marriage certificate. It could be a divorce certificate. It could be a degree. But whatever paper is the ultimate goal, you're going to have patience and endurance in order to get it and to reap all of the benefits that it provides. I'm going to keep this a short one before I head out for my day. So I'll grant you all peace, power, protection, and power.